Every morning, a secret stood on platform 4. A green-haired station attendant, silent, still, waiting. Ren, 29, had a day job, a cramped apartment, and a gray flannel life. His only enigma, the attendant who stood at the exact crack in the yellow line before the 7:42 train ever arrived. He stepped off the train onto the cold platform. She was already there. Their eyes never met.
6 months. The same spot. The same light catching her mint green hair.
The platform clock read 7:42. It had never been late.
She doesn't look at the schedule board. She faces this door like she's expecting something. I don't even know her name, or why I've been counting.
Ren, you've got that 1,000-yard stare again. Is it the platform girl?
It's nothing. She's just always there. Remarkably punctual.
On the ride home, Ren stared at the blurring platform. A question not yet formed pressed into his chest. If she disappeared, would anyone notice? The next morning, the 7:42 arrived as if nothing had changed. But Ren's chest tightened when he saw her.
She's already there. That look in her eyes, like she's holding back a storm.
Takeshi cornered him by the vending machine at lunch.
You are counting the days now. Admit it, you've got a thing for the green-haired station girl.
I don't even know her name. It's nothing like that. But that's a lie. The silence is the only language we share.
In his cramped apartment that night, Ren couldn't shake the image of her face from his mind.
I don't know her name. I don't know her wounds, but I know the exact angle of her cap when she turns.
He reached a decision. Tomorrow, he would break the ritual. He would speak. He would ask the question that had become a wait. Why do you wait for me? Before he could speak, his boss handed him a sealed promotion order. Transfer to the Shinagawa line, effective Monday.
Ren, you did it. The Shinagawa transfer came through. Big raise, new department.
That means I won't see her again.
His last morning on the old route, the clock read 7:41. He pressed his face to the glass. When the doors opened, the yellow line was bare. Just a clock, ticking towards 7:43.
She's not here. I waited too long.
By the following week, the Shinagawa line swallowed him into a different crowd.
I should be happy. This is the promotion I wanted. So why does every station blur into her face?
He couldn't stop searching the crowds for mint green hair, but she was gone. And the question he never asked burned brighter than ever. 2 weeks into the new role, Ren's reports were late, his attention shredded by an absent green-haired ghost. Takeshi leaned in.
Seriously, you look worse than when we pulled all-nighters during the audit. Is this still about that platform attendant?
I can't let this eat me alive. I have to know if she's okay.
On a rare day off, Ren retraced the line he had left behind a month ago. Platform 4 was unchanged. The same clock, the same yellow line. And the silence was louder than any announcement.
The attendant with green hair. Where is she?
The uniformed clerk frowned, checking a roster. She was reassigned. Health reasons, I think. They sent her to a rural station, 3 prefectures north.
Health reasons. Was it because I disappeared?
He scribbled the station name on a slip of paper. His guilt had a name, and it was 3 prefectures away. Determination hardened in his throat. He would find her, silent or not. His next day off, Ren boarded the long-distance train north, the slip of paper with the station's name burning in his pocket.
What do I even say? I am sorry I vanished without warning. I noticed your hair every day for 6 months.
The train carved through tunnels and rice paddies. Each passing mile felt like a clock rewinding to a mistake he couldn't fix. By the time he stepped onto the rural platform, the afternoon light was thinning to a golden haze. The station was small. Barely a kiosk and a single wooden bench. No crowds, no announcements, just wind and rusted tracks.
This is the place. She's here somewhere. Now what?
And then he saw her. At the far end of the platform, mint green hair catching the low sun, like a signal fire.
Her back is turned. I don't even know her name to call out.
Ren's heart hammered against his ribs. Every silent morning on Platform 4 had been a rehearsal for this one breath. He stood frozen, the distance between them filled with 6 months of unsaid words. The crunch of his footsteps on the gravel echoed across the silent platform. Saki's shoulders stiffened. She glanced back. For an instant, their eyes met, and she turned, walking briskly toward the station office.
Wait, I came all this way. Just let me explain.
She didn't slow down. The station door clicked shut behind her, leaving only the hum of a distant train.
Excuse me. The green-haired attendant. I need to speak with her. It's important.
The old station worker shook his head, eyes averted, and muttered, "She's not seeing anyone today. Personal reasons."
They're covering something. That look, it was pity, not annoyance.
He sat on the wooden bench, the afternoon sun crawling across his shoes. The platform emptied. The last train of the evening rumbled through without stopping. Ren didn't move.
She's in there. I can wait. I've done nothing but wait for 6 months. What's one more day?
When the first train rattled in the next morning, Ren was already there, a cup of bitter coffee growing cold in his hands. Saki's silhouette crossed behind the office glass once, then vanished. The station master watched, unmoving.
They're testing me. Waiting for me to snap or give up. But I've lost too much silence already.
Day 3, the old station master stood by the door for an hour, arms crossed, before retreating without a word. When darkness swallowed the platform again, Ren checked his phone. 2 vacation days left.
48 hours. If I go back without answers, it'll just be the same torment on a different line.
The next morning, he caught her face through the smudged window, widened, teary before a hand yanked the curtain shut. As the light faded into a bruised dusk, the station master finally pushed through the office door and walked toward the bench.
You've been here 4 days. She's not sleeping. That's not helping anyone.
With respect, sir, neither is hiding the truth. I am not leaving until someone tells me what happened to her.
You want the truth? Then tell me. Why do you keep coming?
6 months. She stood at my train door. I left. She collapsed. My fault.
She has a condition. Crowds overwhelm her. She was sent here for safety.
A medical condition. So it wasn't a random transfer. It was because of me.
Her psychiatrist wanted quiet. No triggers. She'd been stable until that day.
The day I disappeared, I was the trigger, wasn't I?
I can't confirm. A passenger stopped coming, and she collapsed. She hasn't recovered.
The weight crushed Ren's chest. Saki had built her stability around his arrival.
She won't see you because she's ashamed of her own mind. That's all I'll say.
Ren sat alone as a wrecking truth bled through. He was never a ghost. He was never a ghost. He was the only thing she held onto. He returned the next morning. Then the next. His vacation days expired, and still he sat.
Unpaid leave means I am burning bridges, but this bridge already collapsed months ago.
You are still here, without pay, without promise. Why risk everything?
I am not risking anything. She lost her stability because I vanished. I am just trying to fix it.
Stability. She told me once she chose a fixed point to anchor her mind each morning. A train door, a man who always got off.
A man. My car. My spot. I wasn't a stranger. She chose the train car door I used every day. I was her anchor.
One morning, that door opened, and he wasn't there. She collapsed on the yellow line.
Tell me the whole truth. No more half answers.
The old man lifted his gaze to the darkening sky. Then, with a deep breath, he nodded.
Severe dissociative episodes. In peak crowds, her mind detaches from reality. She stops knowing where she is. Her psychiatrist recommended a fixed point, something unchanging. She chose the door of the third car, the 742 Yamanote line.
Every morning, she was already there before me because she waited.
But it wasn't the door. It was the man who always stepped out. His face, his suit, his tired eyes. He was her anchor.
She built her entire morning around me, and I never even learned her name.
When he disappeared, the anchor broke. She collapsed during her shift. Paramedics had to pull her from the platform.
The words hit Ren like a train. He had been her only fixed point, and he vanished without warning. Ren stared at the dim office window where Saki hid. The glass felt like a verdict.
I did this. All those silent mornings, she was holding on, and I let go.
The platform swallowed Ren's silence. Somewhere behind that window, Saki was listening, trapped in her own mind. The night stretched into a stillness heavier than any crowd. Ren didn't sleep. He replayed the last 6 months. Every green strand, every unchanging spot on the yellow line.
A promotion, a raise, a clean future, or a silent platform, and a woman who might never speak to me.
The Shinagawa line paid his rent. His old line held no guarantees, only a ghost of a girl who needed a witness.
She called me an anchor, but I wasn't even a name to her. Still, she chose me.
If he stayed away, she might never recover. If he returned, she might never know. Was silence still a form of care?
I'll go back. Not for thanks. Not for a conversation. Just to stand in the same spot every day.
He would trade his promotion for a demotion, his career for a patch of yellow line, his future for a promise no one would hear. Somewhere in the cold, Saki had chosen him. Tonight, he chose her back. As the first light touched the station roof, Ren stood up. He was done waiting. It was time to reclaim his silence. He returned to the Shinagawa department that same afternoon. The transfer request already printed. His boss stared at the form, then at Ren, as if he had suggested burning the company building.
Ren, this is insane. You went missing for days, and now a transfer back? The department won't let you go.
Then, I'll take a demotion, cut my salary. I don't care.
You are destroying your career for a woman who won't even look at you.
He doesn't understand. This isn't about being seen. It's about being there.
The transfer was denied 3 times. Ren filed a 4th, attaching a formal demotion request. The old station master's words echoed in his skull. She was stable until that day. Weeks later, a clerk handed him a stamped envelope. Transfer approved. Position, general staff. Salary cut by 30%.
Done. Now I wait. Every morning, Platform 4.
Ren boarded the 742 Yamanote line for the first time in months, his pulse a traitor in his throat. When the doors opened, Platform 4 greeted him with silence. The yellow line was empty.
Still 7:42. Still nothing. But the clock doesn't know what it lost.
Her file is stuck in personnel review. Don't expect her back soon.
Ren didn't flinch. He pressed the phone closer, as if proximity could bridge 3 prefectures.
I've thrown away my career. What's a few more months of waiting?
The days stacked like old tickets. He came every morning, the clock blurring from 7:41 to 7:42 to 7:43. Commuters stopped glancing. The man on the bench became part of the station architecture.
No news, but she knows you are there. She asked the station master to tell you.
She asked. That's enough. I'll be here every morning until the door opens for her.
Weeks dissolved into months. The first snow dusted the platform. and still the yellow line remained empty. A new station attendant finally asked the question that had become a rumor among the staff.
A green-haired girl. She used to stand right there. I am just waiting for her to come back.
The story spread. Commuters stole glances at the silent man who never missed a train.
She's eating better. Her episodes are fewer, but the paperwork is glacial. Don't expect a date.
Ren's suits grew rumpled. The hollows under his eyes dug deeper.
Doesn't matter. She's getting better. That's all that's ever mattered.
Morning after morning, the clock ticked to 7:42, finding him rooted to the exact spot.
The chief here is pushing. Don't lose the spot.
I haven't lost it yet. Every morning until the door opens for her.
The winter deepened until the cold felt like a verdict. Ren's shadow had thinned, but it never missed a morning.
The chief at this end wants to send her farther north, a facility. They say her condition is too unstable for a public-facing post.
That can't happen. She needs to come back here, to the same door. Tell them I am still waiting.
I'll file another appeal, but my hand is weaker now. They may override me.
I've cut my salary, lost my title, alienated everyone. What else can I give?
Ren, HR showed me your file. You are one missed shift from dismissal. This isn't loyalty. It's self-destruction.
Then let it be self-destruction. She didn't choose her condition. I chose my absence. This is the consequence.
That night, he sold his watch, his father's last gift, and bought another month of unpaid mornings. The platform clock showed 7:42 again, indifferent and eternal. Ren placed his palm on the frozen yellow line.
Even if it breaks me, every morning, until the door opens.
The appeal was rejected. The facility transfer orders on my desk. 4 weeks, and she's gone.
4 weeks. After all this, they're going to lock her away from everything she knew.
HR gave their final warning. You missed yesterday because you were on that platform. They'll fire you Monday.
Then Monday can take my desk. She's got 4 weeks left. I am not wasting a single morning.
A cold front froze the platform, but Ren didn't feel it. The only clock that mattered now was the countdown to her erasure.
There's a slim chance. Her psychiatrist is willing to appeal if someone is waiting at the original spot. A fixed anchor.
So I am not just waiting for her. I am the reason she might get to come back.
He traced the frozen yellow line with his shoe, scoring the ice with a promise deeper than any word.
Every morning, until the door opens. No matter what they take from me.
And beneath the frost, the platform held his footsteps like evidence. Takeshi found him on the bench. You had a career, now nothing. Ren didn't look up. I have 7:42.
The psychiatrist's appeal is filed, but they require proof a fixed anchor is present every morning. You'll need to sign a log.
A log. Like my life can be verified like a train schedule. Fine, I'll sign every day.
Through the frost-glazed window, Saki raised a white-gloved hand. No smile, no nod, just a hand pressed to the glass.
She knows I am here. That's all the signature I need.
Ren slept on the platform bench that night. The station master left a blanket without saying a word.
Tomorrow, the committee votes. Her psychiatrist will present you as the anchor.
Then tomorrow, I'll be the most immovable thing on this platform.
The clock read 7:42 one final time before the answer, and for one brittle morning, the platform held its breath. Beneath his shoes, the ice had softened. Spring was coming, whether the station allowed it or not.
The committee approved it. She's coming back. Next Monday, 7:42. Don't be late.
Monday's platform felt different. The same clock, the same yellow line, but every commuter seemed to sense a shift in the air. The train doors hissed open, and for the first time in nearly a year, mint green hair waited at the edge of the yellow line.
She's smaller than I remembered. More delicate, but she's here.
The clock struck 7:42. No words passed between them, only a shared stillness that said more than any announcement.
I don't know her name. I may never know it. But she's breathing, and I am standing, and that's enough.
She looked back, just once, her eyes bright with something unspoken, before taking her position by the door. And so the ritual resumed. Every morning she waited for the man who had promised to show up. Every morning he did. Strangers assumed they were strangers. Colleagues never understood, but the platform knew. This silence was the loudest form of care either had ever known. And as the train pulled away each day, the empty platform held their echo, a promise sealed at 7:42. The seasons cycled over Platform 4. Summer heat, autumn leaves, winter snow, spring blossoms. Each 7:42 found Ren's shadow on the yellow line. Saki's teal eyes grew steadier. Her dissolves into panic became rarer, then absent. She started looking at the crowds without flinching.
Whatever they called this, ritual, illness, love it held. The platform was the only witness that mattered.
Commuters who once whispered eventually stopped noticing. The salaryman and the station girl were as permanent as the clock.
The psychiatrist is ending her sessions. She said the fixed anchor therapy worked because the anchor never moved.
I never moved. Every morning, rain or fever, I stood here. She deserves that much.
Takeshi visited once, finding Ren in his worn suit, a slight smile replacing the exhaustion. "You look better." "I am." On a cold December morning, Saki's glove brushed the back of his hand as the train pulled in. Neither spoke, but the gesture said everything. Ren, now 35, with gray at his temples, still boarded the 7:42. Saki, her mint hair now threaded with white, still stood at the exact spot. No one had ever asked the question aloud. No one needed to. The yellow line held their answer. A decade passed without a word. Ren's hair turned fully gray, his back slightly bent, but his feet still found the exact crack at 7:42.
Every year, I think of retiring. But what would I do with mornings if I couldn't stand here?
Saki's psychiatrist officially discharged her. Her file was closed, her episodes a distant memory. She still chose the same platform every morning.
She doesn't need the anchor anymore. She keeps coming because she wants to.
She wants to. After all these years, this platform is her home, and I am just a part of it.
One rainy morning, Ren's briefcase slipped, and a slip of paper fluttered out. A name, Saki, written in a handwriting not his own. She had left it on the yellow line years ago.
So that's her name, Saki. I've known her eyes for decades, but this feels like a whisper.
He didn't keep the paper. The next morning, it was back on the line, weighted with a small stone. She saw it, blinked once, and took it. On the day, Ren finally handed in his resignation. The platform clock read 7:42 as always. He didn't board the train, he just stood watching her.
I'll still be here, every morning. I just won't be paid for it.
In the months after, Ren arrived earlier, leaning on the railing, watching the tracks glow in dawn. Saki would raise her glove slightly. Their only greeting. New commuters occasionally asked who the old man was, and the staff would shrug. Just part of the station.
She never needed me to speak. I never needed her to answer. The silence was our shared language.
One winter morning, Saki stepped off the train and, for the first time, stood not at her spot, but beside Ren's bench. They watched the 7:42 depart together. She held out a white glove. He took it, just for a moment, as the snow fell. Then she returned to her post. Years later, a young station attendant found an old logbook. Every morning, a single name signed at 7:42, the handwriting growing shakier each year until it stopped. On the last page, two handwritings appeared side by side, Ren, and beneath it, Saki. Dated the same day, The platform clock still ticks, the trains still come, but the yellow line holds the faintest imprint of two shadows, one in a cap, one in a worn suit. No words were ever needed. Every morning at 7:42, the station remembered them. And somewhere, a green strand still caught the light. The station was remodeled twice, the clock replaced, but the yellow line remained exactly where it had always been. A young attendant found a folded paper under the bench. Saki, in fading ink, still waited with a small stone.
They kept a promise. No one else needed to know.
No photograph on the wall, no recorded history. But every morning, the 7:42 train carried them both somewhere beyond words. Passengers sometimes swore they saw a flash of mint green hair in the crowd. But when they turned, there was only the train. The clock still reads 7:42. It has never been late. If you stand in the exact spot on platform 4, you might feel a silence that is not quite empty. Two people, a gloved hand and a bare one, once almost touched here. The station never forgot. Every morning, the station wakes to the same rhythm. Doors open, the yellow line waits, and somewhere, in the quiet hum of the 7:42, a promise sealed at 7:42 still echoes.